We are starting out our show on this Business Wednesday with recruiter guy Bill Humbert. He is joining us virtually from his home right here in Park City. Bill, thanks for being here.
Hey, Christine, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you here, and I'm really looking forward to digging into this topic about applicant tracking systems when jobs are posted online and artificial intelligence issues. So let's get right to it.
Sounds good. So, the majority of people who are looking for a job, they watch the advertising on television and they decide that, I'm going to apply for these jobs online. And so they believe the advertising. And the truth is, you can find jobs. The problem is you can't get them. Because they use the companies and even some of the job boards will tell people like me, since I'm a recruiter, they tell me, hey, guess what? We'll screen out the candidates that are not qualified. And you know what? You won't even see them a second time at your company if they're not qualified.
So this is fascinating to me because I would have guessed that since most jobs are posted online, that's how individuals are looking for jobs, especially right now when people are doing more things virtually than ever before. I'm surprised by these numbers that not a lot of people are actually finding the jobs online.
That's true. The career transition industry, so companies like Lee Hecht Harrison, Waldron HR, Career Partners International, and Wright Group, and there's a number of them, Challenger Gray, they track metrics on how people find jobs. And what they've discovered is that over the past 10 years, and really over the last 45 years, people have found jobs. Only 8% of them found them by posting online.
Only 8%. Again, I'm very shocked by that number. I would have thought that it was much higher. And you say that this is due to artificial intelligence within the job tracking application system.
That's correct. So what happens is, first of all, most companies do a terrible job writing a job description. So candidates today are becoming more aware that they have to mirror the job description with their resume. And when a bunch of people, let's say, there's 13 million people out of work or working part-time who want to be full-time. When 400 people apply for a job, what happens? Well, HR gets inundated and they use the so-called artificial intelligence to screen out the people who are not qualified.
So essentially, they're weeding out all of these applicants, comparing one against the other, but the system is flawed.
It's got huge flaws. They talk about it being artificial intelligence, and in my blogs, I did one last week on my Talent Attraction Tuesday, was how the artificial intelligence is actually artificial intelligence. And on Friday, I talked about beware of the applicant tracking artificial intelligence. So what happens is it's really nothing more than a keyword match. And you have to match literally every single major keyword that's used in a job description. So you have a situation where the job description is poorly written, your resume is written to reflect the job description, and then you're wondering why you're not selected.
And it's frustrating to hear this. It's hard enough to find a job, and when you hear that you may be getting weeding out just because of verbiage, what can people do?
Well, going back to the career transition industry again, the metrics demonstrate that over the past 45 years, 74 to 76% of all jobs were filled through networking. So back in my day, the mantra was, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Which is great if you've been in business for a while or maybe you know people who are in business, but I feel like that's also a bit frustrating if you're just starting out, if you're changing careers, maybe you don't know anyone to network with.
Well, it's amazing how many people you do know. Actually, if you're in college and you're just starting out, go to the career development office and talk to them and find out who are the alumni that graduated from your college or university that went to work for that company that's your target company. Now you've already got a relationship built with those people, even though you don't know them. If you're changing careers, you probably know somebody who knows somebody. So when you network, the goal is not to find a job with that first connection. I mean, that could be a nice goal, but that usually doesn't work. What you're trying to do is you're trying to penetrate their network. And so when you're talking to them, one of the last things after you talk about your experience, and one of the last things that you say is, who do you feel I should speak with next? And note that I said feel, not think. If you tell them, ask them to think, they'll think for weeks and then forget. But if you ask them to feel, now you're getting their knee jerk.
And of course, if someone's feeling very lost, this is where you can step in and really help them.
Absolutely. My business on the coaching side is growing. And it was interesting, Christine, about 2 weeks ago, we went down to Coral Reef National Park for the dark sky. And that was amazing, by the way. And on the way down there, I got a phone call, and I didn't take it until I got down to the park. And I listened to the voicemail, and it was a woman whose husband had been out of work for a year. And they were desperate, and she asked me if I could help them. And so I am helping him now, and he's already gotten some traction with what I've coached him to do. So my coaching business is growing, and since March 15th, I've helped 22 people either find a new career job, or one of them just went into business for himself.
So there is hope, and I also want to mention that you had some interesting experiences with artificial intelligence, even in writing the blog post about this topic.
Yeah, it's really funny. I put the topic in, put the link in to my blog, and an artificial intelligence bot on Twitter, when I tweeted it out, picked it up and went, artificial intelligence, yay, I'm going to retweet this. And so it retweeted it. And I thought, I wonder if I thanked it for its retweet and put the same blog post underneath that, if it would retweet it again. And for, the last 5 days it has, even though I'm poking fun at artificial intelligence.
It's really interesting to think about. So I feel like bottom line is find those jobs online and then figure out who you know, who maybe knows someone, and then go for it. Make that personal connection and see what happens, because there are jobs out there. People are hiring right now.
There are lots of jobs out there. And you know what? The other thing, Christine, is we're getting into the moment in time. Remember, at the end of the year is the best time of the year to look for a new job. And this is the time to really be out there networking. And part of the reason is that during the holidays, people are typically feeling warm and fuzzy, right? And so they're going to be more receptive to your phone call and to helping you. And then the company's budgets are, within the next week, most of the budgets are going to be done for January 1st. And so managers are going to know what positions they've got open. And the smart managers are going to pick the top talent right now and interview them, and then maybe 1st of December call you up and extend you an offer and say, hey, just relax during the holidays, we'll start you January 2nd or 4th or whatever the first Monday is.
And of course, you're here to help. People can read your books. They can reach out to you online.
Absolutely. So if they go to recruiterguy.com, my books are there. And all my contact information is there, so they can either reach out to me and send me an email, or they can call me, or they can just buy the book, Employee 5.0, Secrets of a Successful Job Search in the New World Order.
Well, thank you so much, Recruiter Guy Bill Humbert, for joining us today. Always interesting speaking with you about what is happening within the business world, and you always have great advice on how to find that perfect job. We're back with more right after this. Stay with us.